Title: German cops blitz climate crusaders, protest tactics or public nuisance. TLDR. German authorities have come down hard on the climate activist group, Last Generation, with a series of raids across the nation. 7 individuals are under investigation for allegedly forming a criminal organization. Their crime: funding climate protests and, occasionally, getting themselves superglued to highways and art exhibits. Are they champions for Mother Earth or just public nuisances? Let's dive in. It's a classic game of cops and robbers, except replace robbers with activists and replace cash-filled vaults with climate protests. Wednesday saw German police conducting a series of raids on 15 properties linked to Last Generation, a climate activist group. Now, these guys aren't accused of planning the next Ocean's 11 heist or anything. Instead, they're facing an investigation into the financing of protests against climate change. Picture this: you're on your way to work, maybe sipping on your first coffee of the day, and suddenly your commute grinds to a halt. Why? Well, some members of the Last Generation have decided it's a great day to glue themselves to a major intersection. What a sticky situation. Their disruptive tactics, which also include targeting art exhibits, because nothing screams climate change like gluing yourself to a Picasso, right? Have made a lot of Germans think they've crossed a line from passionate protesters to public nuisances. Even Chancellor Olaf Scholz, usually a fan of understatement, labeled these protest actions as completely nutty. But here's the kicker: the environmentalist Green Party, a part of his own governing coalition, believe the group's actions are counterproductive. That's a bit awkward, isn't it? So, where do we draw the line between disruptive protest and freedom of expression? Sure, it's safe to say most people support tackling climate change. But when the morning commute starts to look like an art school project gone wrong, is it still about the environment? Remember, we're talking about a group who've repeatedly used these disruptive tactics to bring public attention to their cause. It's a conversation starter, no doubt. But has the conversation shifted from climate change to questioning the sanity of gluing oneself to a street? Here's where you come in, dear reader. What do you think? Are Last Generation's tactics an effective way to put the spotlight on climate change? Or are they just sticking themselves, and their cause, in a place that's hard to remove? Will their actions lead to meaningful action against climate change, or just a lot of grumpy, late-to-work Germans? And finally, does getting superglued to a highway make for an uncomfortable ride home? Disclaimer: this article is not intended to offer legal or investment advice. The views expressed are based on the facts presented in the original news story and do not reflect the views of Turned Up News.